Got drunk at the Hilly, I can't PD, and I can't find my Willie. I'm just here for a little attention. Yeah, I got severe hypertension. So why you trying to get to know a Higgy better? Canton whores, Bella's mom and Schmarietta. I don't know, I'll give it a go. ATF's big show, I ain't no hoe. I don't need a new man with the double D rack. Never mind, Higgy, your game is whack. You're the whacker to my weed. Your game is whack. I'm not trying to hear that, see? I'm not one of the girls trying to get locked down. Prince Higgy, baby, Jameson Crown. I get down with the Hilly low comp ticket. 16 whiskeys is how I kick it. And you get excited for a midnight snack. I already told you, your game is whack. You're the whacker to my weed. Your game is whack. I'm not trying to hear that, see? Your game is whack. You're the whacker to my weed. Your game is whack. I'm not trying to hear that. I like sleeping alone. This won't go all night. A little needy and strange. It's true love at first sight. I'm the real deal. I do what I gotta do. From the rip, my whole heart's for you. Your whole heart is not for me. Not a half, not a quarter, not a clog, not a read. You know what's the problem? You're trouble and you're hot. I'm big, thick neck daddy Higgy. He's not. I got a question, not to be rude. Are you queer? Cause you keep calling me dude. Are you glad that you had walked me out? No self-doubt and you didn't cop out. No last words, I'll just mutter abide. Don't diss the caterpillar and sweat the butterfly. All of them girls must have got you gas. And when they see a good thing, they don't triple bypass. Well, for this town, that's right on track. Cause for me, your game's too whack. You're the whacker to my weed. Your game is whack. I'm not trying to hear that, see? Game is whack. You're the whacker to my weed. Your game is whack. I'm not trying to hear that. What am I? Another pretty face getting you a drink from my military base? All I gotta know is why did you use me? You talking? Psh, excuse me. We can't have nothing. You wear it depends. Well, if we ain't getting married, then we can't be friends. Well, then I guess it's nothing. Well, hey, I think you're puffing. Well, pass that weed. I won't weed whack nothing. You better catch a flashback. Remember, you ain't tapping it. You ain't my style, and I'm not having it. All I remember from that late night kiss is I'm more the mister, you're more the miss. Well, look, I treat you good. Treat yourself better. And I always call my mom. Write her a love letter. I greet you every day with a martini at the door. You won't last a year, you're overgrown bed sore. Well, I'm known in this town, and there, that's a piss. I got no one to blame but myself and Melissa. You didn't answer me, Karen. Am I a good kisser? Don't remember, had a lot of Hennessy. A lot of girls out there that won't say no. The ones you take to your crib with Berkey. Boom, now all my feelings is getting fatter. All I want to do is drink booze and eat food. Tell you nice shit like chillax, dude. So when there's nothing in the fridge but a natty, just call Big Face Higgy Daddy. You want VSOP? Just ask when. Don't take a 12-step, jump off the wagon. All the confusion, you know I'll solve them. Your game is whack. My game is what? How long you had that problem? What's a whack without his weed? Your game is whack. I ain't trying to hear that, see? Your game is whack. What's a whack without his weed? Your game is whack. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm getting out of here. Come on, Karen. I just want to know, why'd you get my number? Do you like me? Circle yes or no. I had a weak moment.
Yo! What's up, people? How's everyone doing out there? This is Impromptu live show. We're doing it this way. Welcome, everyone. So I was going to do the show tonight at 9:30 because I'm meeting up with Will is in town, the Glare, and Annie Elise. I've never met her before. I found her constantly on during this thing. She's great. And tomorrow he's leaving, so if we want to chill, tonight would be the other night. So we're not going near Canton. Last time we got dinner, we went near Canton, and I almost got my bail revoked. So we're gonna stay far away from Canton. We're gonna stay in. We're actually going to the Lincoln in Boston, South Boston. So if you're in the area, I'll be there around 7:30. Don't be bashful. But yeah. So anyway, I figured I'd just do the show in my car. Obviously, I can't play any clips or really interact that much with viewers or do turtle chats. So, yeah, man. So, wasn't with you guys last night. Wasn't feeling that well. Just wasn't up for it. One of those days. But, honestly, I don't feel like I missed that much. Like, it was the Monday was the big day this week. Monday was like the only somewhat interesting day the whole week, in my opinion, because of me and Shannon, and we already did a show on Monday. They absolutely skewered that guy. Hold on one second. Hold on. Yeah, they absolutely skewered that guy. I love it when the troll, like, I'm like, how are the trolls going to deal with that disaster? And that was a bigger disaster than Joe Paul. Like, at least Joe Paul didn't lie about his associate's degree. At least he was like, yeah, I mean, either believe me or don't believe me. I'm saying this fucking insane thing happened because it did. And I don't know shit. I don't really have like a degree in anything, but, I'm a cop, so maybe you should believe me. And, most people didn't, but at least he didn't lie. Like, this dude just got up there with this Southern hospitality bullshit and just lied to us. And it was like, oh, yeah, I agree. Like, well, he didn't really lie. Like, he lied prior to taking this. Like, he told the truth on the stand. Like, I am a complete fraud. I am not any of those things. Like, I'm not I'm working on my degree. I don't know. So he said he's working on his degree. It's been 17 years. At what point do you say you're just a college dropout? And I'm like, how are you still working on it? What does that mean? Like, when is the last time you took a class there? Like, you haven't taken a class there. And like, if you haven't taken a class there in 15 years, you're not still a student. Like, I don't care if you snuck into the dining hall one time or you sat in the student section at a basketball game because it was cheaper, or I don't know. I don't know what else he was doing down there. But I still don't know the answer to why he enrolled at community college and got an associate's degree. It took him 4 years to get that, by the way. A 2-year degree took him 4 years. And I'm like, I still don't know why he did that if he only had 1 year left to get his bachelor's. Like, make that make sense, So, now the antis are like, oh, he said that bombshell, that she went back in reverse at 12:31. Got him. Oh, Kara Reed's toast. Okay, maybe it would be a little problematic. It still wouldn't mean shit, but maybe it would be a little problematic if this guy wasn't a complete fucking fraud and he was the one saying it. Like, no one else is saying this. All right. We had a whole trial where, the chip for this goddamn text stream thing existed before. They had it all. I mean, it's like, so this guy found something on the chip that no one else in America could find. Thank God. Like, they did a whole murder trial, kind of a big deal. And they're like, yeah, like the most important thing, what time she went in reverse and hit him. Oh, it was just there under our nose the whole time. And we just didn't know how to do it. We didn't know how to extract it. Right. Because we're fucking retarded in Massachusetts. We can't figure shit out. Where a smart part of the country is? Like, where a lot of intellects live that can probably figure shit out that we're not smart enough to figure out here in Massachusetts? Alabama. Because if one thing I think of, one word that's synonymous with Alabama is education, right? It's like, so they got this guy. He finds something. I still didn't see a single thing on there in his presentation showing like the software, like, okay, I downloaded it here, this is how it came up, and this is where it says 30 miles an hour, nothing like that. He made his own little graph. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this supposed to prove? Right? I'm supposed to take this guy's word for it. And yeah, the fact that he doesn't have a degree matters. Like, because this is high-tech shit. This isn't like shit that you can just learn reading the back of I don't know, whatever, reading the back of the book. So this is like really important shit, So anyway, man, Shannon, you can't, but like it would have been bad testimony, 12:31 going in reverse, whatever. We would have to figure out a way to explain that. But now you just don't need to, because it's like that guy's retarded. Like, that guy's not retarded; it's a fraud. Like, he will say anything for money. He is a whore. He's probably been doing this at trials for a while. He is the Frank Abagnale from Catch Me If You Can of crash reconstructionists. Aperture stock, if they have any, tanked because of him. I don't, it's just like, bro, you have no credibility whatsoever. So yeah, that would have been harmful if it didn't come from this guy. So, because you can't trust a word this guy says. And then this guy's findings were used in Judd Welcher's report, and he hasn't gone yet. And so they're using this as the basis for that. So that's going to fuck it up. Like, that's not going to be good. And so I don't know what they got, and since then, who have we had since then? Well, we had Judd the Chud, and then there was Christina Hanley went yesterday, and then again today. And she got up there, and what did she say? She said that, like, her big show, she basically, one thing, she got the picture of the, the zoomed in. Here's the picture on the microscope of the taillight embedded in John's clothing, like right in there. She found it. Okay, no, obviously she didn't put it there, nothing like that. So keep in mind the timeline for you newbies. So I picked up on this story in April of 2023, and it got a lot of attention, right? When I picked this up in April 2023, there was no microscopic taillight embedded in any clothing. Like, that was not evidence. We are 15 months into this. 15 months. They didn't find that. They didn't have that. Coincidentally, as soon as I got on the case and put this all out there and blew them up, and at the exact moment when they needed to make their case stronger, they suddenly found microscopic pieces of taillight embedded in John's clothing. Embedded. Somehow. And 18 months later, they find it. Now, who had the clothing? I mean, this has been established. Chain of custody, there is none. Michael Proctor touched everything. Just keep bringing up Proctor. The guy that they're hiding from you touched everything. And I loved Alan Jackson's little presentation there today, showing where each piece of glass came from. The Buchanan piece, the Bukkake pieces, the Bukkake pieces, the Proctor pieces, and of course the most important thing, right, is that the glass that was found on Karen Reed's bumper, as if that glass wasn't shady enough because it somehow survived a 70-mile round trip from Canton to Dighton back to Canton in a blizzard. It somehow survived there. It stayed on there. But it's not the same glass as the cocktail glass found next to John. So what the fuck is it? What is that glass? I don't know. Did Proctor just have a glass laying around? Like, somebody put that glass there. Was it always there from another, like, what? Where's the glass from? Nobody knows where the glass is lined with. So, as if that, I mean, whatever. It's like, even if it was a fucking cocktail glass, it's like, what does that even prove? But they couldn't even plant the cocktail glass there, for crying out loud. Which makes sense, because how are they going to do that? If the car was in Dighton, they wouldn't be able to plant the cocktail glass. Like, I don't know. So, and then their big ace in the hole, Dr. Isaac Wolf, who was done in 5 seconds. That guy, Isaac Wolf, likes him some Isaac Wolf, that guy. So, they didn't like their own ME, Irene Scortibello, because, she basically said John wasn't hit by a car. This guy up from Florida, and this guy is like so Florida, it hurts. Like, this guy looks like every Sean of the Gulf boomer dude who like wants to retire in Florida and just jump on the boat, like that guy. So Isaac Wolf gets up there, very sure of himself. I mean, I didn't mind. I thought he was pretty. At least he got it out. He spit it out. But he said that the laceration in the back of John's head did come from falling back and hitting his head on something. And guess what? That's always what I've expected, right? I always suspected some sort of fight that went wrong, and John fell down and just hit his head. I think he hit it on a staircase. That's just what I think. And just the angle he hit it at caused that. I mean, you hit your head maybe the corner of a stair, something like that. And boom, out. Convulsing, puking, right? And they're like, holy fuck, what happened? Holy shit, what happened? Something happened. I don't know. I'm not a detective, and the time to solve that mystery was 3 years ago, but they didn't go in the house or search or anything like that, so we'll never really know what happened. But I bet you John's DNA is on the corner of some stair in that house. I bet money on it. And so basically, Dr. Wolf said that he hit his head hard on something, and Hank was like, "Ooh, gotcha, checkmate, motherfucker." It's like, you realize there's lots of objects inside Brian Albert's house that he could have hit his head on, right? So, like, you did not narrow this down at all. There are still lots of ways that John could have hit his head. Lots of ways. We all knew John hit his head, right? Now, he says that, he just says, because the ground is harder than a rock because of the weatherman. Remember the weatherman? That guy, many witnesses ago? Because the weatherman says that the ground was harder than a rock. He can, whatever, what he can, like, that must have done it. Now, you tell me, you look at that back of the head, that lateral gash, it's got to hit something, right? That is lateral in and of itself, like the corner of a stair, something like that, right? Something that could cause, like, an indentation like that. If you hit your head on what they call frozen ground, right, you might get a concussion, right? You might fucking bang your cause brain damage. Like, it's gonna hurt. Like any football helmets in football, on the frozen tundra. But you're not gonna get a gash like that. Like, that makes no sense because there's no object like protruding to cause that. Like, it's just the ground. Like, how does the ground itself cause that? Like, it could definitely knock you the fuck out. It could definitely. I'm not disputing the ground was hard. Maybe even hard as a rock. I don't know. But what I am saying is there's no shape there that matches that gash in the back of John's head. And it's like, so this was Spanky's big ace in the hole, right? Let's just bring, instead of Joe Paula, who's an embarrassment, let's bring in Man Shannon and Judd the Chud and this flashy doctor who really didn't add much at all. And they didn't grill him because he wasn't harmful, right? He was not harmful at all. And I don't know. I loved when Auntie Bev said at the end there, she's like, well, we're going to go home. What'd she say? We're going to go home today. Like, oh, yeah, we're done earlier than I thought. So, Jers, you can go. We're ahead of schedule. How the fuck? What was your schedule like if you're ahead of schedule? What did the schedule look like this week? You got through 3 witnesses in the whole week. 3. How are you ahead of schedule? What was the schedule like? I mean, Jesus Christ. So we're ahead. Somehow we're like, with all those sidebars and an hour break this morning with the jury, like being questioned one by one, we're ahead of schedule. Now, a lot of people are asking what's up with the jury. What's going on with that? These guys were all interviewed one by one. What's going on with that? Will was in the courtroom, and he'll tell you right now, nobody in the fuck knows. Nobody knows. Karen Reed knows, but she can't say. And the lawyers have a gag order on her, so she can't say shit. So, they called them up one by one, and they did move one of the jurors. Now, I have not been in the courtroom for 3 weeks because I lost the lottery again. Me and Jess Machado lost again. Grant Smith Ellis and John DePietro won again, of course. But this is totally random. We can't see any of it, but it's totally random. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, so we couldn't see anything that was going on in there, and we didn't know. But I do know 3 weeks ago when I last saw the jury, there was a juror sitting in the front, closest to the witness box, that he was younger. You look like he was probably like 30 years old, I guess. And it was like goofing around a lot. And he seemed to be like flirting with the chick next to him. They had a little banter, like will they, won't they kind of thing going on. And it's been so long since I've been in there, but I just remember him walking into the courtroom, like goofing around and talking to the girl behind him. It was just too, it's like, you got to take it a little more seriously, pal, So I think, and he was moved. He was the juror that was moved. They did a rope-a-dope. They put him in the back row, I guess, in the middle, next to some dudes. So, and then they moved a woman down to his seat. So it looks like whatever happened wasn't enough to disqualify anyone. But what I would guess was that this kid, I think he made the woman next to him uncomfortable. This is just a guess. I don't know why they need to pull all the jurors about that, but I think he just I just think he might have made the woman feel, I think he was flirting with her too much. That's just my guess. Again, I don't have any insight, nothing, but nothing else makes sense because why would no jurors be eliminated, but that guy had his seat moved? You know what I mean? So it just didn't make much sense to me. But yeah, what else is going on? So my motion to dismiss. I haven't done a full breakdown of that. LTL is going to be doing that at 8 o'clock on his show. He invited me on, but I couldn't make it because I'm getting a meal of food with the Glare Company. But you know what I was going to say. Oh yeah. So yeah, they're talking about my motion to dismiss. 6 of my charges were dismissed. The 3 conspiracy charges with Janelle Webb were dismissed. The 2 witness intimidations with the police, Bukaki and Proctor, were dismissed, but not Elizabeth Proctor. And the picketing charge with Michael Proctor was also dismissed. And it's weird. I've reread the decision, and nowhere in the decision does he explain like why Proctor and Buchanan's charges are dropped, but not everyone else's. Like he doesn't. I think it's just like, bro, this is embarrassing. They're cops. You can't say that this guy intimidated cops. You guys have guns and shit. You know what I mean? But so I still have a bunch of charges left, like the McAlberts. But again, it's all based. The judge can only dismiss charges if there's tomfoolery in the grand jury, right? And so they said there was tomfoolery with like the conspiracy charges and the Bukaki charges and stuff like that. So those are all thrown out. So, but actually, I should be allowed in the courtroom now with Proctor. Now that the charges against him are dropped, right? Yeah. So, anyway, I'll be honest. So like yesterday, I'm like, I just needed a break. It's just like, well, it's a lot of charges, man. Still, it's like I was happy with getting some of them dismissed. I wanted them all gone, but Betterow assured me, and Betterow was like very honest. It's like it never happens. Like nobody ever gets 6 indictments dismissed. He's like, I've never seen that before. Like, never mind 16. So he thinks it's a pretty big win. Obviously, I would want them all to go away, but he's like, I've never seen that before. Never seen that before. But I got a trooper right behind me. Hold on. Did everybody see that? Okay, it's gone. It's gone. All right, we're good. I'm like a marked man in the state. I'm following all the rules of the road. I'm eyes on the road and doing all that stuff. But yeah. So it's like I would have liked the charges to go away because it's just I hate being on bail. I really hate it, and it's like the First Amendment is really dead in Norfolk County. Like what happened with Erica Walsh the other day was just heinous. Even Joe Krowski said it was heinous, like completely uncalled for. And they were in court yesterday in front of Judge Doolin, right? Tom DeRozier, who was picked up and walked across the street by Hardo, and just for being in the zone and filming, as well as Jason Grant, who was holding that Corinthians sign, and because the sign had a Bible quote that said freedom on it, Judge Doolin said, well, that's freedom sounds a little bit like Free Karen Reed, a little bit too much. So that sign isn't just a Bible quote, it's about Karen Reed. What? Insane. Tom DeRozier was just filming. He did rule that Tom DeRozier had a right to be there, but Erica Walsh, he said that, it could be used to influence the jury. Her sweatshirt said, criminals control Norfolk County, and that could influence a juror. Jurors are all inside when she walked by. I don't know how a juror can be influenced by the back of a sweatshirt that they can't see. Like, make that make sense. So it is just scary, that like nobody has any First Amendment concerns. None of these judges have any First Amendment concerns about what's happening in Norfolk County. That's concerning, right? So, I'm counting on a jury. If and when we get there, there are other routes to dismiss this as well. But the Odell and McCarthy motions you can't appeal those. So we are going to ask to reconsider one of them. The charge again of picketing, which I didn't even know was illegal. Picketing Michael Proctor was dropped. And the reason it was dropped is because he wasn't home during the rolling rally when I went there. He wasn't home. Well, Brian Albert wasn't home either. So we are going to file a motion to reconsider that one because of his basis. Because he says in there that Brian Albert wasn't home. So we might get that one tossed out too, the Brian Albert one. So, we'll deal with these as they come. We're going to break it down. There's a lot to go over. We're going to win eventually. I do wonder, I've talked to some people about this. I'm like, obviously we want free Karen Reed. I want an acquittal, 100%, no doubt about it. But I'm like, would that be worse for me if she was acquitted? Like, suppose she's acquitted, like, are they going to blame me for that? That's what I'm wondering. Are they going to be like, fuck this guy? She got away with it because of him, because of his witness intimidation. He influenced the jury pool, and now he's got to pay the price. That's the only thing I'm wondering about. At the same time, a not guilty verdict kind of validates everything I've been doing. And so it's like, bro, the jury believed everything this guy had to say. It was clearly... that's my thing. It's like, I wasn't protesting these people as witnesses. I never even thought of them as witnesses. I'm protesting them as murderers and, like, people who covered up a murder. Like, that's what offends me. I'm like, they're going to be arrested by the feds any day now. Like, that's the way I viewed them. It's like, when people were outside of Scott Peterson's house, like, bro, that guy's going to be arrested any day now. So we're going to stand out here and demand answers like they did to Brian Laundrie. I give you a whole list of people that people have done this to before they were ever charged with a crime. Hell, John DePietro did that guy in Rhode Island, So there's that. And anything else going on? We did the whole trial recap. I'm failing to see. I don't really follow the antis much, but I don't see. I'm sure no matter what happens, they're all fired up. But it wasn't a good week, man. Shannon, that was not good. Bukaki was not good. I don't know who their best witness has been, but it's not. None of this shit's good. None of this shit's good. So, maybe O'Hara was their best witness because he's probably their best witness so far, O'Hara. Even though, like, his own story leaves open a window, and his own story about, like, random guys he didn't know showing up, mystery men, like, that left open reasonable doubt that one of those mystery men could have planted Taylor. Because Taylor wasn't there. Taylor was not there at 7 a.m. when that beautiful leaf blower came out and searched that flawless leaf blower, greatest invention of all time, right? The greatest police tool ever. Gallagher and his leaf blower. It was awesome. But anyway, so there's that. Hopefully Erica's charges are dropped or go away or whatever. It's fucking ridiculous that she has to fight this. Trespassing. Give me a break. But again, now it's like, I'll be there. I couldn't go much this week, but even though I didn't win the lottery next week, I'm still going to go in as much as I can. I'm just going to try to get a fucking media pass anyway. Some of the other reporters told me that, they're like, you can just get, like, there were 6 people there today. Half the people that win don't show up, which you should get kicked out for. But anyway, that's that. So, yeah, if you just got here, I'm not going to do the show tonight. This is the show that you're watching right now, because I am going out for a meal of food at the Lincoln restaurant in South Boston. We got a 7:30 reservation there. Me, the Galera, Annie Elise, a few others, right? So, we'll feel free to stop down, say hello, or don't. Some people are wondering, like, oh, I didn't want to interrupt you. You can say hi. I don't give a shit. I don't mind. But we're staying far away from Canton, though. We're in Suffolk County, so I think I'm all right here. I'm safe. But all right, guys. So I can't read any of the chat or do turtle chats, but I just want to come on and do that. But we will we'll see you guys on Saturday night for the live show. All right. Peace out, Rose.
It calls